Okay, there we go. Now we're all set up, so welcome. Yeah, so we're gonna continue with making these monsters here. Last time we did the new monster called Mossing, which is, yeah, it was this very simple monster, just walks back and forth, and it detects whether it should turn around or not when it reaches a ledge or a wall or something that blocks it. And yeah, so we got that incorporated into our existing like monster sort of system. And yeah, we started on this guy, which is a bit more complicated, and we got the basic stuff in and also the jump attack. And so now the next thing would be to we have a animation that needs to fix here. We have stun, so if the jump attack misses the player, the monster gets stunned. I guess this would be a bit different. We have to detect if the monster actually hit the player. We could just say that when it hits the player, we set the state of the monster to like idle or whatever, and we'll have some sort of cooldown on the attack so it doesn't just spam the attack, I guess, also. And yeah, so we need this stunned state, I guess. So we have the state. Now, I think we'll just add this as a state. Stunned, maybe. Better. And it's basically gonna be very simple here. It's gonna only have like and that, I think. Okay. And now we can handle this in the update function. So here we can check for if the stun state should end. So we can basically copy this. Stunned. There. Yep. Let's see, so idle, so I was thinking maybe we should move this logic into this function, but I'll not do that now. But okay, so basically now we can exit the stunned state, but we don't actually enter the stunned state. We need to enter the stunned state when the monster does the attack. Here's the attack. And we have a throw attack. We have the... Oh yeah, this is when we want to play the make rock sound for the throw attack. Here we have if the attack is the attack ends. And then here we have if the attack is not ended, it's still ongoing. So I think yeah, I mean this is kind of natural actually with this system, that if the attack ends, you set the state to something else, then the attack doesn't hurt anymore as well. So once the monster hits the player, it should be set to a idle state, I guess. So we should probably have this in here, then damage player. So we could do a bool, return a bool here. Turns true if the player was hit. And I guess we could say or blocked. Because we have the shield block as well. That should also probably be part of this. Or if the player was hit or blocked the attack. So here we neutralize the attack, which simply, yeah, it modifies the hurt's end so it doesn't hurt. But we should also, let's see, continue. This continues like for the intersection. We're not gonna have more intersection. I mean, this should only happen for the player. So we could just as well break here or return. I guess we'll break. Has shield blocked. Player hit. So this is true. And then this is, yeah, player was hit here. Is player hit? Or was player hit? Yeah. Whatever. So then we can return is player hit or shield block. Has shield. All right. Yes. So also we could also break out. Break here. We should really just break. Let's do an else. I will move this into here. See, one thing that I will point out here is like, instead of this pattern, which causes a bunch of nesting, I would rather have, you know, if maybe player is equal to null, then we continue. But then, I mean, I guess you could do this, you know, and then we don't, but then you don't really use the capture pattern, which I do like the capture stuff, but wait. What happened there? Okay. So I do like the capture stuff, but it's like it causes this unnecessary sort of nesting, which is not nice. So I like this better. Like, you check for the, wait, what happened? Oh, yeah, so now we get like 2 down like that, so we don't get nearly as much nesting. We check for a case that we don't want, and we skip that, and otherwise we do this. So I wish there was some way of doing this more efficiently, like maybe you can capture it afterwards. I don't know. It's like, yeah. Or maybe I can, maybe there's like some other pattern that that we can use, but yeah. Maybe I should watch some more SIG stuff. I mean, it's gonna also, I guess, change maybe a little bit with SIG 0.14. I'll do some research on that in the future when a more stable version has been released. Actually, I can check that now. Sig 0.14.1. So how's it going here? Okay, yeah, it's not. Yeah. Oh wait, it's. It's actually. It seems like it's going well, quite well actually, with this update here. Yeah, so maybe we'll see that soon. Actually, that would be quite nice, because then I think I will actually transition into 0.14, and we'll do like a transition update for that. All right, but anyway. Yeah, so now we have this here was shield blocked. We remove the break from here, and we have this in an else instead, and we want to break here at the end. Since we found the player, there's not gonna be more players. Okay. And then in the end, we check, has shield blocked, we block it. Was player hit or has shield block, we return that, so we can use that here. So we will do an if here. If the player was hit, and I guess this would be sort of a setting, so this would be like switch on monster AI type. Yeah. If it's this guy, then we want to set idle. Otherwise, we have this guy, we have this guy. We don't really do anything. Okay. So this is like when the monster either hits the player or the attack gets blocked, we do something. And in case of this guy, we set him back to idle. That should be fine. Okay. And then, let's see. I also want to have a cooldown for the attack. So it's like, yeah, here, should attack. We could actually incorporate it here. Here we only check like the distance. We don't check, well, we know we're in the idle state, but we're not actually checking like the attack cooldown or anything. So I think what we could do is we could go here and we can say, we can actually have some state here, which is attack cooldown, or can attack at, and we'll just set this to 0 at the start, and then we'll have a attack cooldown, which will be, I don't know, 2 seconds or something. And then we can have a function that set attack like update. Well, I don't know what to call it, so I'll not put it here. I will actually... Where is that? Should attack. We will check it here instead. So we will check, okay, the distance. Yeah, but we also want to check this state. If can attack at is less than or equal to t, then we actually do the attack, and when we execute the attack, the jump attack, yes, we will set this animation. We will also set, so I think, yeah, attack ends at, we will store this here, and then we'll say also this guy, which needs to be mutable, so we'll set this state here to attack ends at plus måste type stening attack cooldown, so that the cooldown is like after the attack has ended. I feel like that makes sense, because then, you know, if the attack is like super long or whatever, then well, actually here's a bit different. So the attack end set is not actually when it should end. This animation duration is pretty short, actually, if I recall. If we run the animation studio and we look at the jump attack, it's actually, I mean, okay, it's like 1.2 seconds, but the actual attack should actually be a way longer. Well, it should be depending on when the monster actually lands. So that's the thing. So the attack end set, it shouldn't actually have an attack end set, actually. Yeah, that's what I feel. This should probably be like a null, and then it should end whenever something else happens, like it touches the ground. That's when the attack is supposed to end. So we'll make this a nullable, and we'll default it to null. And then we can remove this. We can remove that, and we'll keep this just as the attack cooldown. But then here we can see that we might not have a end at, so we have to check if end at is not equal to null, and yeah, and that should be it, actually. Yeah, for that check. I wish also there was better sort of null integration with the language here. I mean, other languages have things like question mark dot, or well, yeah, you can do this. Well, actually you can do or else infinite, I guess, but that's, I mean, I would rather check if it's not null, just like that. Okay, maybe like an inline sort of expression, like I mean, I guess you could have that. Couldn't you do this? If this exists, then we get end that, and then we return this, otherwise false. Isn't that's actually illegal to do that? I don't know if I like this, but it utilizes the capture, I guess. But the problem with the capture is only like in this scope. That's it's because if you compare this to other languages, like some languages have a way to, let's say we have this nullable here, we set it to null, and then you have an if a is null. So now in here we know that a is null, so you can't, so it's like the type is sort of coerced into being null. So in this scope a should always be null because it's a constant as well. But in here we know that a is not null. So yeah, so that's how it works in some other languages. But and that would be very useful, but that's not how it works here. But that's just a small like nitpick that I have. I'm not sure about this pattern here. It's like a if within an if predicate. But I mean, yeah, and the alternative was to attack and that is null, or it's not. Well, I guess you could check if it's null. No, it has to be this, and t is this. Yeah, I'm not sure what's simpler to read. This makes sense to me, but yeah. I wish there was a better way to use the null in this case. But anyway, it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, what now? The jump attack now, it doesn't end. So if we run this here, we should see this guy, and then once he attacks, yeah, it never ends. And this is kind of how actually how I want the attack to be, but it should also like enter like another state, which is the stunned state, and then wait, did he actually make a thud sound when he? Oh, maybe that was a coincidence. Yeah, why is is he like getting friction or something when he's in the air like that? You shouldn't have friction. Let's see, so the jump does this vector thing. Oh, we do this like this thing immediately. I think we should do this because I think that gets around friction. This is just setting the thing. Or does it go and get around friction? I'm not sure actually. No, it shouldn't. This is setting it once. applying the impulse. Why can't I go here? Oh. Wait, I should have the monster body here, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're basically doing the same thing here. Let me double check something here. So we have where is I'm trying to find, yeah, here, rigid body container. So this is where we do like the physics simulation, like updating positions and stuff from velocities. And yeah, we don't have any friction going on here, I don't think. So let's search for friction. Right, so while we're accelerating, we don't apply friction. We should probably have, oh yeah, so we do have no friction. Okay. So yeah, so we do have a component. So when we do this, we also want to add to the entity. We want to add no friction. And then when the attack is done, we want to remove that component. So this will disable friction for this monster while he's doing the jump attack. And there we go, now he doesn't, yeah. And once he lands, we want to end the attack. So I think, yeah, I'm just figuring out how to actually check if he's landed. So we probably want to do it here then. We are in the attack state. We want to exit the attack state. If maybe we can have attack should end. Yeah. Let's do like monster should end attack. And I guess we can do that. And have them in chronological order. Should end attack. I'll just do this for now. Return true. Yeah, and we get the attack. Let's also do self. Must be attack is this. T, yeah, we also need T. Okay. So now it's like, should we end the attack? Yes or no? I need to dereference there. Should an attack. So I guess we return false if we didn't find any reason for not stopping the attack. Okay, so we'll do a switch on monster on itself now. On type, and this guy has special things. Then we have this guy. These guys do nothing. Okay, so here we also want to switch on attack type, and we do jump attack. Otherwise this is unreachable. Okay. If we have a jump attack, then yeah, then we want to check now. So we want to check if we are like if we are going to land, or if we land on the ground. Yeah, if we land on the ground and attack. So how do we do that? Well, we could check for intersections below the monster. However, what if, I mean, it's probably better to query sort of the physics system, to be able to query the physics system to check, okay, did this guy land this frame or not? Or is this guy on the ground, maybe even, or not? So we are doing that for the player with the player component. The player component has a on ground variable, but this one is kind of a one-off that is sort of set. Yeah, we're checking for collisions here, so we're kind of doing this in sort of the game code. But we want to check for each entity, basically. It would be nice to know if you're on the ground or not. So that might be something that we can incorporate into the actual physics engine instead. We could also, I guess we could have a component here. So we add a component that says that you're on the ground. I guess. Yeah. Okay, let's just do that because that feels like the easiest way to do it right now. So on ground, we just have a component called on ground, and is on ground, say bool, and it's false. Okay, and then here we're gonna just, you know, the body, let's say the non-static. Yeah, so we could just do yeah, we know that now the thing is on the ground, so we can just say add to non-static is the thing that's on the ground. Key, that's the entity. Hello Aqua, welcome. How's it going? Man, I wish I could help you, but I don't know coding at all. That's fine. Are you interested in game development? We have the entity there, and then we want to add the no ground component. But we don't want to do that if it already has the no ground component. So we need to also has no, or yeah, is on ground. I guess there's a has, I think, yeah. Has no ground. Well, I guess we don't need this bool. I guess we can do the same, like, we're not gonna touch this. This is just to get like the system, the ECS library happy. So, but we're not gonna touch that. So, and this is non-static key. So this, we're checking, do we have this component already? So if we don't have this component, then we want to add that component. But now the issue is, when do we remove it? So yeah. I mean, I guess we could go through all of the ground components and remove them before. That should be a pretty fast operation, actually. So then we know that we don't actually have ground, so we don't actually need to check it here. But yeah, we can do that here. So here we can actually say, well, yeah, we can do for registry and then raw no ground. Yeah, and then we get this no ground. Wait, no, not raw. This is gonna be data. So we're gonna get the entities here. because now we can just remove those. Wait, maybe there's like a prepare quick thing for that. Like we want to remove all of these components of specific component. Maybe not. Remove if exists entity iterator. No. Okay, but it's easy enough actually. We can just do this and registry and remove no ground on entity. There we go. Right, and now we need to import that. So let's just import it here. No ground or on ground. Well, it's called on ground, not no ground. There we go. Okay, so we remove all the on ground first, and then we check, or is anyone colliding with the ground? In that case, we actually add the on ground component to that. And now we can actually go in here and we can check. Thanks, Aqua. That's really nice of you to say. I mean, I know that from experience, if you haven't done any programming at all, it's gonna be quite hard to follow, I guess. But maybe you can get interested and start learning. It's really fun. At least I think so. It's really fun to build stuff and make things work. Is what I found fun about it. Thanks for the subscription there. Right, so now we can check if we're on the ground. So let's import this on ground. And we want to check with the registry here. So we need that as well. Okay. And we want to check if, yeah, I mean, I guess if we have on ground on this guy. So we also need the entity as well. There. So if we are on the ground, we want to end the attack. So yeah, we just want to return true here. Yes. Okay, and now we need to add these things here. Okay, so we have this generic function that checks if we should end the attack. However, there's a special case that we want to have for this specific type of monster, but I'm just gonna test this now. Oh, we have some issues here. Wait. Where is this coming from? Data. Oh. So, wait. So this guy is this. Wait, this doesn't make sense. Why does it complain here? Because assure requires, how can this even, okay, so this function, we cannot use this. So, alright, thanks, Aqua. See ya. Yeah. This is actually interesting because I don't think this function is used by the author in this case, since I think that whenever you use this function, there's going to be a compiler error. Since self here requires it to be this type, which is not a pointer, but then this uses a function that requires self to be a pointer. So there's like a, maybe I should report this as an issue, or maybe it has been resolved. Sig ECS. Yeah, I'll just okay, I'll just write this down somewhere. Let's see. This is 253. Where is this? Registry. Okay. So we can actually use this function. That's a bummer. But this function, if we look at this, this has assure t. So we could just use that, I guess. We could say assure t maybe instead. So if we say assure on ground and then data, will that work? Okay, that seems to work. Oh, we got oh, actually, maybe this needs the thing to actually remove if exists. Yeah. Right, so we need to check first, otherwise this fails, I guess. No, that was not the issue. Okay. Let's check the logs. Unreachable, assert contains, okay. Self-set and we're trying to add this. Yeah, we're trying to add on ground. And I guess it does not contain the thing, which makes no sense to me. Or wait, maybe it means that it already has it, maybe? Okay, you know what? Instead of doing this, no wait, because we want to remove it, because how would we else know if they're on the ground or not? Yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with this though, but it's happening in here when we're trying to add the on ground. So I think it's either saying this entity doesn't exist or the... Well, that doesn't make sense. This uses the entity key, so it has to be something with on ground then. If the on ground already exists on the thing. But that also does make sense because we're going through all of the on ground here and remove them. I don't want to have to go through all entities and check and remove. Maybe if this happens like multiple times, I don't know. Yeah, it might happen multiple times for the same... Like, oh, okay. So is there like add or replace? I mean, I guess that should be fine. Add or replace. So it doesn't fail if it already exists. Yeah, we'll try that. There we go. Okay, so he's attacking and he ended the attack, but there's some issue here. Execute attack. We're trying to add no friction. Oh, because, okay. So yeah, we're trying to add no friction, right? Because, so no friction should also get removed once we are done with the attack. So let's go back to monster now. So we actually solved the issue with the on-ground stuff. Now we should end the attack, but we should also have a specific sort of thing happening when end attack. So I think we should, if we copy this and we also have an end attack, actual ending the attack. And yeah, we're checking for the type. If the attack type is jump attack, we want to remove the no friction from the entity. Otherwise, we don't really care about anything here. We don't need this. Okay. And now we can go down here, and we can say also AI and attack, and we provide all these things. There. So now we have also logic for actually ending that attack. However, we need to also add a thing here, so we remove no friction. But if we ended the attack by going into the ground, which is where this is happening, then well, it should also remove no friction if we hit the player also. Maybe it could be a state on the type. Let's see. Let's remove this so we can see more. Yeah. So if we go to, well, it's during the attack. Should end attack. So it's either if the thing is up or if we're on the ground. But when did we check for hitting the player? Oh, it's this one. Yeah. So here we also end the attack. If we are this guy. So I think here we also do end attack. If we are this guy though. That's the thing. Okay, let's just keep it like this. This is not really the responsibility. It's not clear about this function right now, because it's not really like, yeah, you end the attack so the attack is over. There's some meta state of other attacks that keeps on being played out. The animation keeps being played out and you're still in the attack state and stuff. This one actually just remove some fringe states such as no friction, and also maybe even depending on the type of thing here, the staining actually wants to go into another state, which is the stunt state, but that also depends on things. So this is sort of one part of ending the attack. So I'm not actually sure what to call this, but we'll have this like that. And well, this is actually how it ends. So now we know how the attack ended. I guess we could have like a reason here. End attack reason. As an enum. And it's gonna be well, actually let's have this return this as well. So this is actually kind of nice. If you have a bool, but then you want a function that returns a bool, but then you want some more like nuance to it. And really nice way to actually solve this now is and that is if you're using this in an if like this. Yeah, you only have like if this function call. A really nice way of refactoring this into a more nuanced result is to use nullable and then end attack reason. You provide your enum or whatever, and now whatever we put in here. So let's say we have attack ended, or yeah, I mean duration ended, or what else? Yeah, we hit the ground, on ground, let's say. So now we have two different things here, and now we want to refactor this part. We just add the thing here, which is the reason. So now we actually get the reason out, but it's a really nice sort of refactoring step. You don't really need to do much. You just add this thing here, so you actually get the value out as well, and you're checking for if it's null or not. So that's actually one really nice way of using this nullables actually. And now we can provide this reason into the end attack as well. And we'll do the same thing here, except here the reason is that player hit or blocked. Which we need to add as a reason here as well. Player hit or blocked. There we go. All right. So we're not using the reason, but now we can actually use the reason to check, like, why did the attack end? And in their case, hey Lyndon, how's it going? Welcome. It's going good. Yeah, we're adding a bunch of new monsters, so finally get some more like sort of content, I guess, into the game, which is nice. How are you doing? Reason. So if we're jumping attack, now we do want to remove the friction anyways. But if the reason is, so now it depends. So if the reason is, well, I guess we could switch on it. The reason. If the reason is player hit or blocked, then we want to do something. Otherwise, well, actually, yeah. If we're on the ground, yeah. Otherwise, I don't think we want to do anything special here. So here's like, if we hit the ground, then yeah, then we want to go to stunned state. So I think we can just set the state here, actually. Monster, this needs to be immutable. Yeah, we can just set the state to be stunned. And then we need end at, and that's gonna be the stunned duration plus t, so we need t as well. Okay, and then let's see. Well, yeah, so we need to add this constant here. Oops. And let's say it's like, I don't know, 3 seconds or something. All right. Let's see. I want to check. So we're setting these animations in the in the update function. So we want to set the animation as well to the stunned animation. I'm just gonna double check what it's called. Stunned, yeah. Yes, and it's looping there. Member function, yeah. So yeah, we need T. And here as well. What's going on? Oh yeah, so we actually need to implement this now as well. We need to return an end attack reason. So if we ended here, this means the attack duration was up, duration ended. If we ended here, it's on ground. Otherwise, we return null. All right. So let's check this out. Whoa. Okay. So it's not actually being stunned. But that physics was kind of funny. Okay. So oh yeah, probably because we are ending the attack. When we end the attack, we should also say that the state has been changed. So we don't want to set the state to something else. So I think we'll return a bool here that says returns true if state was changed. And here we return true, otherwise we return false. Okay, so now we can check this if this returns. Well, if it didn't change the state, we want to do this. Yeah. And same thing here, if it didn't change the state, we want to do this. Okay, we're getting a bit nested here again. So maybe we'll move this part into its own like function. We'll do update attack. And we need a bunch of stuff, so we need the registry, entity, we need the attack, which is component, state, and attack state, and we need, I think that's it. Oh, we need monster AI as well. Okay, let's put that here. AI component. There we go. Oh, and the player body. Okay. Maybe we can get that here. Though. How often is this used? A couple of places, yeah. Let's just get the player body here. Oh, we need a player. Okay. Well, whatever. Let's just pass the player body in here, I guess. Player body. Okay. So now we can say update attack, and we pass in all of these things. The physics. What physics wasn't expected? Well, the monster is kind of bouncing around all over the place. I'll show you here in a bit. I think this should have the same. I haven't changed that. I don't think. Well, I'll see. I don't remember now. But it's basically, well, one of the issues here is that the monster should have like a cooldown on the attack. So the monster has an attack. When you get close, it starts to jump after you. Now it actually gets stunned there. Okay, so now the physics, it doesn't do the same thing. But it was kind of like gaining speed almost. Like each jump, you sort of gained more speed. I think it's because we add the velocity instead of... Yeah, it shouldn't bounce around like that. That was not part of how I envisioned it. But we could, well, yeah, the cooldown we can change. So it should really be like after he's stunned, we should probably add the attack cooldown when it comes out of the stun as well. Yeah, but now it's like, you know, the idea is that you shouldn't be able to hurt him now in this state. But once he attacks you, he misses like that and he gets upside down. And now you can like attack him and kill him. Oh yeah, there you see. So okay, that's not intended. You shouldn't get that much knockback. So I think it's partly because we remove the friction while he's in the air, because he should be able to like jump with a certain trajectory. I think the knockback has to be a bit more magical and not that physical. It's probably just gonna be moving the well, maybe it's just moving, like teleporting the monster a little bit. That would be a really easy way of solving that, because otherwise you would need like a thing that goes on over several frames and yeah, maybe the knockback should be like instant teleportation instead of changing the velocity. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it was not really what I was going for. Or at least it's funny to me, but I don't know. Okay, so okay, I'm not gonna deal with that right now. I'll just go back to here, and we do have this now. So he is being stunned. The animation, so the attack animation, I'm not sure what fix I was referring to. I think it's fixed though, so let's remove this. And then recover from stun, that's also correct. We do have the, like, that guy can exit from the stun. However, I think we should add here recover from stun when hit by player. So the thing is, you can only, so it's sort of, I want to increase the difficulty of the monster a little bit, so you can only hit the monster when he's on his back, but you can only hit him once, and then it flips over and can attack you again. So also we want to make him invulnerable when he is not stunned. So invulnerable when not stunned. Yes. So let's do the invulnerable part, which we do have a component for, so we can just add the component, like the invulnerable component, and he becomes invulnerable, or basically just immune to to damage. And we should have that in the execute attack function. And if we go down to this guy and jump attack, well, actually, okay, yeah. So actually, let's go to init this function. So here we want to add the invulnerable component. Or did I call it invincible? Yeah, invincible. Okay, so he's invincible. Maybe invulnerable is better, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we need to invincible. We need to add this in it. Ends at, it doesn't end. So this should be null, or it should be a nullable actually, which is set to null. And yeah, we'll just do this. So now it's like invincible from the start. Oh yeah, and we need to fix this now. So invincible ends at is not equal to null, and this is that. Wait. No, so here is like the other way around. So if it can be, this is when you are no, this is when you're not. No, wait. Okay, but we shouldn't remove it. If it's null. So it's like if we have this, now we check. Yeah, wait. Wait. If it's null, or if this, I guess it's like if this is greater than t, it means it's still active. Then we activate the invincibility. Otherwise, we want to check also if this is not null. Then we remove it. Okay. I was just thinking of if I didn't want to do this more convoluted way. I don't know. I was thinking of a more simpler expression for this, but I guess we'll do that. Okay. Yes, so now it should be invincible. So let's start and we'll test that. I wonder if the... Yeah, now you can't even... You can't hit them, so it's invincible. Yeah. Unfortunately, it has a little bit of double meaning, the name in Swedish, but... I mean, it's kind of more meanings. It has like a lot of meanings, I guess. He's stoning you. It's basically what he's doing. Okay. Now, okay. So now he's invincible, but we want to remove it. I think. Do we want to remove it when he's attacking or when he's landed only? I guess that's like a difficulty balancing question. But let's only do it when he is landed. So I think it's when he's ending. Yeah. When he, oh yeah. So when he's in the stunned state. So when we set this to stunned, we set the animation. We also want to add or remove, I guess, this if it doesn't exist, and invincible. Okay, and then we need to re-add it as well when he gets out of the stun. But let's start there. Is that why he has red eyes? Maybe. My idea is that all the monsters are gonna have red eyes. So that was a little bit of coincidence. Okay, so now he's stunned, we can attack him. Okay, cool. But now we can attack him like all the time. Let's also check that we can't attack him when he's not landing. Yeah. Okay. He is the stoned one, and then he's also performing a stoning as well on you when you fight him. Okay, so now we need to add the invincible component when when he gets out of the stunned state. So, and that happens after a couple of seconds. So here we end it here. I feel like this state things, transition thing is getting a bit fragmented, but so here we wanna, I mean, yeah, let's just do this. Switch on type. If it's this guy, we want to do this. Otherwise, we don't do anything. Right, we want to add. I guess add or replace. If just to not crash if it's already there. So now we should add it back. It should be added back once. Wait. Add or replace. Oh yeah, we need to do this. There. And let's see. There, now we can hurt him. It goes back. Now we cannot hurt him anymore. Yeah. Okay, cool. It's getting more and more annoying to fight, I feel. But let's just do this and see. So now I want also to, when he gets out of the stunned state, well, he wants to go out of the stunned state once you hit him as well. But that's gonna be a bit more, I mean, I guess once he's been hurt. Now this is the health part, so we're checking for pending damage. So this guy has been hurt. So we'll check if it's stunned, and the type is this guy. Then we want to exit the state. I guess we can just set this as we do here. We can just set end set to T. No, this is stunned. And that. Or 0 or whatever. But yeah, so now it should end it immediately, like next frame. Yeah, and it immediately goes into an attack, which is not what I want. So what I want is whenever it gets out of the stunned thing, I want the attack cooldown to be sort of activated as well. So we actually have this state for the guy here, and we'll set this to T plus attack cooldown, and we'll do the same over here. And this is what I mean when it's a bit fragmented. So we have one place here which we end the stun, and we have another place. Oh yeah, we also need to do the invincible, right? Yeah. We also want to do this. And no, wait, but we are ending it, so we don't want to do that there. Okay, yeah. Actually, we don't have to do this here anyway. We just end the stun state, and then the other place will take care of what happens when we end the stun state. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And then we don't need this capture here either. Cool. Yeah, okay, so they're a little bit less fragmented then. There we go. We hit him, and he's not attacking. Super annoying to fight. At least it's just 3 hits. Okay, so anyway, that can be balanced later, but now invulnerable, yes, so that's fine. We're not gonna have this. I'm just gonna remove that. It's not gonna aggro the player. This is done. I'm not sure what I mean by this, but it's done. This is done. However, we don't leave a corpse, so that's the next part. That's the last part of this guy. So I guess I can basically take this off. The last part is I want this rock to kind of be left as a corpse. And one thing you could do is just spawn a new entity where he is, which has no, basically only like a graphic and a position, and it doesn't really interact with anything. But what you also could do is just remove a bunch of components from this entity. So you could keep this entity as it is, but then you just remove like the monster AI component and the health component and stuff. So yeah, so it's like this guy doesn't really, well, I wonder if that's more, because that kind of sort of guarantees that you're not gonna get some weird graphical stuff and stuff like that. When we have this check if dead, which is basically we add this death component. Well, this is done by another system though. So we add a death component and we play like a death animation. And once that's done, we basically destroy the entity. But I don't actually want to do that. So this could be annullable here as well. So we might not want to destroy the thing after, but we do want to have still have like a timer, I think. Or actually, no. Let's make this nullable so that it's marked as dead, but we don't want to destroy the thing. Okay. And we'll set this to null. And we need to do a check here as well. So if we have destroy at, and if it's the time is up, we want to destroy the thing. Okay. And now, but the issue now is The issue. Okay, so the issue now is that we automatically set the duration to death animation duration. Also, so we could add for death settings. We could add like do not destroy. I guess. Well, actually, let's just do this. Let's set it to false. Or destroy. Yeah, just destroy. Should destroy. So, yeah, I guess, yeah. Should destroy. We'll set it to true. And then we go to where are we using this? Wait. Death settings. So here we have, yeah, duration is if we have death settings, we set it to this. So otherwise, actually we could add it as a function here. Get death duration, or not duration, it's gonna be, well, yeah, it's gonna be duration. This is F32, yeah. So we'll say if, oops, oh yeah, we need self. If we have should destroy, then we return animation total duration, otherwise null. Okay, so now we can say get death duration here instead, and otherwise it's actually null here. Or is it actually? If we don't have death settings, no, then we just destroy it, yeah. Yeah, and then if we don't have death duration, let's do it like this now. It's gonna be death duration. If we have this, that's gonna be this plus t, otherwise no. Wait. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if we I realize it's kind of complicated, but if we have a duration, that means we want to destroy at the end of that duration. If it's null, that means we don't want to destroy at all. We're kind of keeping to the same convention that we have for other components. Okay. So now even something can die, but then they're never sort of cleaned up, or they are not removed. And what we can do now is we can start the game and see if we still can if things still can die and stuff. Okay, that's also interesting. Yeah, so they can still die like that. Okay, cool. And he also got removed there, as you could see. So let's go to where we initialize the monster here. And let's grab out the death settings. To do this. Okay. And we want to set this to false. Okay. So now actually that should actually be it for this guy. To be left as a corpse there. Okay. Cool. I just want to see a little bit. It's weird with the when he gets on a ledge or on, like, you know, this kind of one space area. No. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, but he's moving back and forth a little bit there. I don't know why that happens. Yeah, and then he spasses out there. Okay, but anyway, this is done. We have a couple of weird bugs, so let's moves back and forth too much, or no, so turns or changes direction even though there's no ledge or wall. So I wonder if this happens because wait, game. So I want to see this guy. Jump. Can I grow? Right. Can I grow? Oh, I've set this to true. That's the reason, I think. Yeah. So he's sort of in an aggro state. But we're not gonna have that for that guy. He's just gonna move back and forth. If you go close enough, he will attack. Okay, I was worried that there was some weird error with that. But this behavior... how do we want to solve this? Probably we want to maybe check. Maybe we should have like a cooldown on how long they want to wait until they turn again. Because this will happen to all monsters who have this behavior. I'll just write that down here. Well, this one was fixed. I'll write that down here as a sort of bug or whatever. So when a monster that changes direction is blocked or at a ledge, is stuck on is stuck on a small enough ground, I guess. It moves back and forth too much. Solution. Proposed solution. Cool down on changing direction. Okay. Let's see. Okay, but yeah, I think I wanna modify the attack a little bit on this guy. We have like a bunch of things here. You have jump, angle adjustment, strength, which is sort of like how far he will jump. Let's increase this a little bit. 200 maybe. Yeah, that's more like it. Also, he shouldn't get like stuck like that. Like when he shouldn't the X velocity should not get reset if he hits a ledge here. I don't think. I mean, that's really like old school sort of physics, but it's sort of balancing. It feels weird that it's just not getting any speed there. Also, I need to fix the death animation because that's the wrong death animation. Game. Yeah. We have death animation should be But this has to be an actual animation. Yeah. Oh, but we have. It's gonna be animations dot get depth 2. Okay. There we go. Yeah, probably want to have like a sound effect once he hits your lands. I have a sound effect when he hits the player. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about this monster, man. I think I need some tweaking to fun this. Okay. Okay, but yeah, we did a lot of things actually with this. Well, we finished this monster, but it was involving a lot of sort of logistical things when it comes to the monster AI. It started to come together a little bit. It's sort of a big mess now, though, the whole monster AI thing. A bunch of it's only gonna get worse with the Alonso. A bunch of like if statements, if it's specifically this monster or whatever. But I think we can have that as long as it's just unique for one monster. As soon as you have like, yeah, now this pattern repeats, we should make it into a more generic thing that all monsters can yeah, so that you don't have to repeat the same thing over and over again. And this one is like, yeah, 1,000 lines now. I mean, it's not that bad, it's just starting to become a lot to keep track of. And yeah, I mean, it's basically because we had one monster in the beginning that was super specialized for one monster. But now when we have more monsters like this, these things are specialized. This is only for this guy actually. So we should probably really should like move that and do some refactoring and stuff here, but to make it more manageable, because we add like a bunch of other monsters. They're gonna have their own abilities and states and stuff. It's gonna be a lot of things, but I'm trying to keep it also sort of generic, you know. Stunned state is something that many monsters will probably have. And wait, where is it? Yeah, here. So these states are sort of common between all monsters, but some might be unique to one monster only. But that's fine because only that monster can enter that state, and only that monster can like use that state. So for stunt, for example, only one monster now uses stunt, but it's fine. We can manage it. So I kind of like this pattern a little bit. We'll see how it goes when we add like more monsters and stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I had for these sessions. It was to implement these 2 monsters. I do have more monsters also in the works, but I haven't made ideas for them, graphics for that. Now I think this monster is pretty much done. There might be some tweaks, but this guy, I feel like we should work on this guy a little bit to make it more fun to fight this guy. Or it could be, you know, in a different setting. Maybe this guy is more fun to play against, or maybe in conjunction with other monsters and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I think that's all I have for now. So thanks very much for tuning in, and yeah, have a nice day. I'll see you later. Bye bye.